Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's Lavender Sky Panther with you on 040423, so April 4th, with a simple reading just for fun. Hopefully, there's some messages in here that land for you, though, as well. And we are going to go with three groups today. If you'd like to select one, you can also select all three, however you want, or a couple of them. Anyway, let's get into your selections. Just note that the group on the left is going to have three cards, the one in the middle, four, and the one on the right, one. That's just how it came out. Nothing else wanted to come out of that on the right. But we may throw in some bonus cards just if I feel like it when we get to it, okay? So here we go. Make your selection. We got the first grouping is this beautiful coral from the ocean. And we've got a Loch Ness monster on the right, a kraken on the left, and we've got this blue marbleized cube. I'll just call it a cube with a number 2 is what presented. Okay, golden number 2. Then we have the second grouping is going to be this Yeti. He's just chilling, pun absolutely intended, chilling on the rocks. She, it really didn't want to stand up, so that's cool. Maybe that's a little already a message just to kind of chill out and relax today, or as much as you can lately. Here's a jackalope and sitting with a little glittery cube, and number 3 came up. And so that's your number 2. And then number 3 is a Sasquatch, Yowie. There are many names for this people, the Sasquatchy people, tree people, Sabe, a whole bunch. Go with whatever works for you. But anyway, we've got the neat stacking of rocks behind, symbolic of what Sasquatch have been reported to do. And we've got a beautiful kind of rosy, marbleized rosy, milky rosy cube with the number 1 on it, okay? Now, I'm being actually pulled to start off with the Bigfoot pile. So go ahead and, again, see which one you want. I hope you've made your decision. All right, so let's go ahead and just see what one very clear message this Sasquatch wanted to make. Here we go. And it is the Maple Spirit Generosity. Okay, beautiful card here. We have actually a little pairing of rocks or stones, excuse me, off to the right. So that's very apropos with my feeling just to pile a few rocks together. These are actually all rocks, by the way, from the beach. From Miami Beach from quite a while ago. So they do, though, all of them have a little bit of the spirit of the water and the sun and the sand, within them too. Okay, so anyway, to generosity. Now, the thing is that I think this is a good illustration with the Sasquatch. If you've been following what they do, and if you're on this channel, I'm assuming you have. If not, there are plenty of great channels and stations and podcasts to go check out, and I've mentioned them on previous shows. What I want to say is that there is a process or an interaction with the Sasquatchy people called gifting. Now, that can be a slippery slope. That can be a very good thing if you're dealing with very benevolent Sasquatch, or it can get a little bit dicey, no pun intended, actually, absolutely a pun intended with the dice on the table, meaning a little risky that if there's some that are a little more, excuse me, high strung and not chill like our wonderful Yeti over here, things can get a little rough, especially, from what I understand. I have not personally gifted. I've had an experience, but I've done no gifting. But depending on the situation, you got to read the room, if you will, and use your intuition, because say you have to stop gifting for whatever reason, it might be not looked upon so well by the people that you're dealing with. So they can get a little antsy and kind of lash out and do things apparently. So, if you're going in, I assume also that you know what you're getting into. Now, aside from that whole world of things, which is totally different, if we step back and more to the regular day-to-day, what most people encounter, just in their day-to-day, we can be generous in so many ways. I'm sure you already know this. Even if it's just a smile, it does not mean monetary. We look at, the gifting exchanging of a rock or a pebble. I often do this on my day-to-day. I carry around extra crystals or beach rocks or anything, even little rubber ducks that squeak, just little things that I can hand to people to brighten their day, uplift their day. But even if I didn't have any of that, you can definitely be generous with a smile. If that's not your thing and you're just really having a rough day and you can't even, bring yourself to smile, you can also just silently in your mind, this is also another Bigfoot or Sasquatch Yeti, not Yeti, sorry. Well, yeah, they do it too, but theme that you can do mind speak or mental telepathy very clearly. So you can also just, as you pass somebody in the street and you see they might be having a hard day, you just energetically feel it. They're a little low, or they look down and out, or even just if they're fine and you want to wish people well, you can always, as you pass a person on the street or the sidewalk or wherever you are, out in nature on a path, just in your mind, just say extra peace and love and best wishes to this person. So anyway, there's many forms of generosity. I'm going to leave it there for now. The color red in this beautiful, display on this maple tree, that might mean something to you. And number 23 on the card, oops, which is, hang on, if it'll focus, the number 5 if you're looking at numbers. I'm going to leave it right there for now, and we'll move along. And if there's time, I'll pull an extra bonus card for that grouping, just in case you need a little more. All right, now we'll go in reverse. So now in this pile, literally sitting on the pile, we've got that Yeti and the Jackalope in number 3. So let's see. Now we're looking at the Magical Nordic Tarot deck, and actually the one with the Bigfoot we looked at was the Sacred Forest Oracle. All right, so let's just flip all of these and see what we're dealing with. So we're starting off with, and oh, my apologies on that light source. Okay, we've got Knight of Wands, and it's a beautiful card. Impulsiveness. And I like how we've got the rabbit here, and kind of got the little jackalope over here. And actually, I'm going to prop this card up if I can. Yeah, you know what, I can't. Anyway, I like the pairing of, actually, I don't know why I'm going to fixate on this, but I'm going to do it. The jackalope and the this white rabbit. Okay, heavy in symbolism, each one. I'm not going to go over the lore of the jackalope. I invite you to look that up. But what's interesting is it's supposed to be a mythological animal, okay? And then we've got the white rabbit, and the white rabbit can be something very, very real and tangible. This is, I've mentioned it before in other shows, supposed to be the year of the rabbit in the Chinese calendar, the zodiac, or Chinese calendar. And it's supposed to mean prosperity, hope, even longevity, right? But we also, of course, have it in the mainstream lore, if you will, in movies, predictive programming, movies like The Matrix. And what's the opening is, follow the rabbit or follow the white rabbit, and Neo follows the girl with the tattoo of it on her. So, and then of course, we now, in more modern times, everyone's talking about going down a rabbit hole. Once you've awakened to what's going on in this world and you've shut off the great deception, it's like, wow, how many, deep holes do I want to go in and to look at how much we as the people have been lied to in humanity, and how far do I want to go for the truth, and what am I ready for? So these are just things that are coming to mind. We've got the one hand, does represent a real animal, and on the right hand, supposed mythological. But what is reality, and what is imagination, and what is deception? That's just what I'm going to leave it. Maybe there's a message in there for somebody there. Okay. All right. So with impulsiveness, that's got usually a negative connotation, I'd say. Maybe you disagree. That's great if you do. But I would say that it usually in the modern world has a little air of connotation of it being negative. I would say, though, it's also absolutely positive. It's something that, if you're impulsive in the right ways and in a balanced way, you're letting spirit move you from within. You're letting your passion kind of guide you. In this case, with this Knight of Wands, look at, he's also just kind of chilling out. His eyes are closed. The rabbit's very chill too, just like our Yeti up over here. Everybody's really chill. So I think that's a very strong message for somebody. Really just chill out. And especially if you find yourself being high strung, find things that are calming for you. Listen to some calming meditative music, maybe as you fall asleep. Get some aromatherapy going, like lavender candles or eucalyptus in your bath. There's just so many ways just to really take it upon yourself. It is an inside job, and it's up to you to calm yourself down, right? Otherwise, if that doesn't apply to you and you're already very chill, great, then this message is just a reminder to stay centered. Now, it's funny because it kind of looks like this guy's a little bit in conflict, not in a bad way, but it's almost like he's doing a reverse Irish jig, like he wants to dance, or really like celebrate stuff. But at the same time, that staff or stave or, big stick is just keeping him like fixed and really grounded. So I think it's kind of a good message, though. It's like, let's go for the dreaming and the flights of fancy in our imagination, in our dream world, but also in our present world. Be into the dreams, be that child in that childlike wonder state, and know that you can do both. You can be very grounded, but you can also be just off in all these like dreamlike tangents and having a great time and into the world of the fantastical realm and really enjoying it. And so I think that's what we've got, not duality, but we've just got a representation, a reminder here of, you can be grounded, but you can also be a fantastic dreamer and just really enjoy all aspects of life and be very calm and own it and enjoy it. Okay, that's what I'll say for now. Then we've got, let's look at our next card is Ten of Swords, and I'm not going to read this in a traditional tarot deck way, but just look at the colors, might mean something to you in here. Also, completion. I think that is in and of itself, it just says that perhaps you are at a moment of completion in your life. It might not be anything extraordinary. It could just be that, wow, for today, I feel good, or I did do at least one thing, that I really set out to do. Doesn't have to be all 10, okay? It can even just be one. And even if you feel like you accomplished nothing in a day or have no sense of completion, I bet you do. I bet you if you look deeply enough, you will find at least something that was, worthy of calling a sense of completion. And what is completion anyway? When we look at life as there is no beginning and no end, if you look at the circle, heavy into the Native American and other lore, it's all about circles and the circles and cycles of life. If you jump in on any point of a circle, there's no telling that it's the beginning or the end unless you deem it so. So, you know what? Don't worry about completion. We're in a never-ending process of experience, growth, expansion. So, if completion matters to you, fine. But don't let that define how you feel in any given day. And if you have a little list, if you're somebody that is a lister, does a to-do list, daily and revises it like hourly or whatever, maybe this is a message to just, cast that list aside. You don't need it. That list is internal and we never get it all done anyway. If you notice, your list will keep going and going and going. And if you look at the bigger picture and we zoom out, don't worry about it. So there's a book that like, don't sweat the small stuff. I never read it, but that might be a message for you. Okay. If you're, too much into the list, that's not good either. We want to seek a balance with everything for our own nurturing and being healthy in the world. All right, now we've got Six of Cups. I think I talked about one of these cups cards before in another reading. I did mention about the chalice. I did mention about a movie reference, so you might want to look at a previous reading I did. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that right now. What I'm going to look at is memories. So the back of the card is a wash of blue tones, aquas, and turquoise, which evokes the feeling and mood of water, which they say in the tarot cards and all of that, water represents emotions, kind of, delving into your emotions. But I don't really want to get into that part of it too much, other than we are going through a shift right now through this Great Awakening. And a lot of us, that means that unexpectedly, emotions and things, memories from the past are going to literally start kind of either slow motion bubbling up to the surface for us to look at again, even though we thought we already cleared through all of that and didn't need to do it at all. Don't be surprised. It might be coming up a lot. A lot of things might be coming up about decisions you made in the past and did I do the right thing? And this card is just, I think, a reminder to, if you want victory and to kind of move through all of that, let it move through you. Let it absolutely feel it. Like they say, you got to feel it to heal it. Let it move through you, but also just let it flow right back out again. Honor it. Say, okay, I see you. But let some of those memories go, especially if they're confusing to you or don't feel so good to revisit. Okay, that's all I'm getting there for right now. And then let's look at the other card. And I do have to move along because I'm not sure how long my battery is going to hold out, or my storage card, whatever. All right, now we have Temperance. And this is looking like 14, correct me if I'm wrong, or number 5. So we've got a lot going on here. We've got Temperance is usually like patience or take it slow. Funny, again with the rabbit, or whichever rabbit or jackalope you want to look at, right? The story of the rabbit or the turtle in the hare, slow and steady wins the race, that type of thing. Again, the whole message of just chill out. Anyway, there are times to be fast and clever and dodge through things, but it's also just time to relax. This is that time, because here we got Temperance. So again, once again, she's very calm. If I can get it, hang on, calm, serene. Her eyes are closed. It's the evening. Presumably, there's a horse in the background. Everybody's just kind of into relaxed mode. This card's message is harmony. We have a fish. She's got one foot, like her toe, not quite in the water, so she's not totally into her feels, so to speak. Again, with water representing emotions, but she doesn't mind dabbling in it a little bit, but she stays grounded, So again, with our rabbit and jackalope little message, we got one's maybe more rooted in the traditional, 3D stuff, 3D Earth, stuff, and the jackalope is the fantastical and the one that goes off into dream state, like she clearly seems to be. All right, there's more symbolism in here, but I'm going to leave it for now. We do need to move a little bit, move along so I can get to the next pile comfortably. All right, so now let's go to our little aquatic theme here, water theme. And I'm using, actually, what am I using? The Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine, because in this deck there's a lot of water represented. But let's see what comes up. So for right off the bat, we got Zero, the Dreamer. I don't support the whole notion of the archangels. I explained why in a previous show, so I'm not going to get into it. And also, I have reason to believe that Metatron is a negative or a fallen angel. Perhaps was once great and positive, but perhaps now might be negative leaning. But again, not sure. Depends on what timeline you're in, what space and time you're in with that. So I'm going to leave it alone. But anyway, I've got this young man, and it looks like he's stepping through a portal. And here's the message: a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. All right, so actually we have a little bit of consistency with the middle grouping, because it is talking about following your dreams. He's kind of like that knight in the other card we just looked at in the middle pile. If you want to reference that, you might want to hop over to the middle pile if you didn't select it. But anyway, looks like he's kind of walking through a portal, through a dreamy state. There's a lot of symbolism going on in here. I'm not really going to, go through all of it. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got butterflies. I think it looks like a dove. Looks like we've got kind of like ancestors of the past, or who knows if they're past or present, but he's got a golden one over his right shoulder, looks like with some wings on it. And then he's got a unicorn off to the left. So he's got, guides of some type, all around him, whether he's leaving the past or heading into the future, going into dream state. And it looks like either way he's protected by some type of either spirit animal or spirit being. He's got a dog with him, and actually this is actually not funny. It is in a way, just because of the quote-unquote coincidence, which is not a coincidence. But when I'm looking, I'm drawn to the bottom of the card just simply because I happened to watch a YouTube video. It was something that was somewhat viral. I hate the term viral. Let me just say, wait, I don't like to use the term hate, and I don't like the term viral. So let me scratch that and rewind a bit and re-say it. I dislike when the trending thing is deemed viral. But anyway, there was a scene where a man had a little dog, looked much like this one, except the dog was maybe 3 months old. And a small alligator, excuse me, they lived on the backside of a pond in Florida, and an alligator just came up and snagged the little dog. And the man, without thinking, even a cigar in his mouth, just jumped in the water, and looked pretty swampy. There could have been a larger gator, but he threw all, caution to the wind and was only focused on saving this little adorable puppy. And he did, and he wrestled with the alligator and set it free. So that's just coming to mind, because also we have a kind of like a swamp-like bird down off to the left-hand corner, looks like an egret. We've got, Viking houses that looks, like there's a long boat in the background on the lower left. It looks like also maybe some standing stones. So this guy, he's going off into, well, let's just say a dreamer. He's going off wherever he wants to go. He might be revisiting things of the past with ancestral, things coming in his dreams and giving him messages. Or he might simply just, be looking off to things that he can't quite define, things he hasn't seen in real life before. Again, on that theme with group number 2, by looking at the unicorn. That's all I'm going to say right now. There's also a whole other fascinating thing about portals, and a big scene comes to mind for me in Lord of the Rings, the first one, the Fellowship of the Ring movie. There's a portal scene where actually evil entity is coming through a portal on the road. You may know which one I'm talking about. I'll leave it right there. It may be a message for you to go see that movie. Anyway, now we've got 9 of water, and yep, as predicted, water does come up in this card, in this deck, this tarot deck, in one of the suits. And this one, we've got a beautiful scene, in the water, and a mermaid, a merfolk, and it comes up, and it's your wish comes true. Concerns fade away, a love of life. We've got abundance with the chalices, and actually they're below the water. So this little mer being knows she's got it all, man. She's smiling, she's happy. She's got some sun or moonbeams coming down, waterfalls in the background. Life is good and gorgeous. But she doesn't need the monetary, she doesn't need the material wealth to make her happy, just to play in the water, play in the outdoors. So maybe that's a message to do that. Go play in the outdoors. Don't worry about money at all. Okay, especially now in this environment, people are talking about what might happen with the financial systems. You know what? Who cares? That's a big message when you know you've got it all and you can go anywhere at any time and you can have it or not have it. The tangible money in your pocket, you're golden. You're good. All right, 10 of water. We've got this little child above the surface kind of looking down. We've got a pair with a couple of cups. Again, the chalices and the cups theme. We've got fish, if that means anything to anybody, or Pisces in the star signs. So this is a contented and rewarding. Sorry, let me repeat that. Start over. It's early for me. Bear with me. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. And what did we just see in the last card? She was set. Everything met. All right. And now relationships, if you don't have them, or if you don't have the family unit, it can be, you have a pet. It could be you don't have anything, but you walk out in nature and you do have everything. You can telepathically communicate with every animal, anything with sentient life in it, even water, trees. You just hold your hand on a tree. If hugging trees isn't your style, you can just set your hand on it, or just sit under it and sit on the ground and just really try to connect in. And if you're a water person, go out on a dock or whatever, if you've got a kayak or something that floats, and just, be there and be present with water. Okay, that's about all I'm going to say for this one, and we're going to keep moving. Now, when I say we're going to keep moving, I felt that the first deck was a little bit light, and cards just did not want to come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a couple cards from, what is it called? It is called the Animal Spirit deck, and probably the Woodland Wardens. And then I might not discuss them just because they didn't want to come out. Generosity was the key theme here. So if I lay it down, I may or may not talk about it, but it may mean something to you. And oh my gosh, I cannot believe this, but yet I can. This came out in the last reading. It's the rabbit. So I am not going to talk about it because I did cover it in the last reading, and we covered it already with, again, group 2. I'm getting a feeling that no matter what you pick, you need to also look at group 2. All right, so here we go. And oh yes, I didn't do like timestamps and breaks. Sorry, I'm just flowing right over. So I think you weren't meant to actually even pick just one. I think you're supposed to have all of them. Okay, now the last little card, we'll bring up the bonus card here, is what number do we have? You might want to help me out on that. You know what? I'm going to leave it to you because I cannot count to save my life this morning. It's too early. But we have the dragonfly, and what is this? It is the dragonfly and pansy. Balance. So yet again, referring back to the second grouping, there's a prominent theme about temperance, balance. In this case, I'm going to do yet again a little personal reference of what's coming to mind, not the usual. I just saw a movie, and here is a spoiler alert. It was was the movie Dungeons and Dragons that just came out, and a blue dragonfly plays prominently or features prominently in that movie, and that's all I'm going to say. So maybe that's a message for somebody to go see it. It is, relatively family friendly, unlike a lot of other movies out these days. So I'm going to leave it. Am I going to leave it? You guys tell me. I'm going to feel it out. Do you want a bonus card or not? Okay, I think I'm going to go for it. I was a little iffy on this. I wasn't going to bring up this deck because I really haven't gone through it a lot yet. It is on the little murky side, so I wasn't sure if that energy wanted to be here today. But you know what? Let's just go for it. It's this Atlantis deck. I'm not sure what I think about it yet, but here we go. The message in it is strength, and my apologies about my camera phone is not wanting to focus too well today. Like me this morning. Hang on. Let's see if we can get it. Hang on for me. With me. Here we go. Strength. Oh, you're kidding me. All right, here, I'm going to just zoom out and I'll read it. My goodness. Strength. Let's try it one more time. My gosh. Come on. Inner strength, courage. Read with me. Catch it while you can, because I'm reading it through the viewfinder as well. I really cannot believe this. Sorry about this, folks. But again, it's a message of patience, isn't it? Yeah, I think the light source is just kind of throwing it with a glare. Okay, inner strength, courage, power, and protection. Maybe something in there jumps out for you. But here we've got this underwater scene of Atlantis and the interpretation of it. And we got this beautiful figure. It's a statue, clothed, so I just want to make sure that's clear for YouTube. We got every kind of fish in the background. We've got all this stuff swirling around this being, but this being is extremely centered. And actually, you know what? Even close up, I cannot tell what she's holding. It looks like she's holding a temple or some kind of a building, and the bubbles are, you know, kind of floating up there. So all I'm going to say about this is she's definitely totally in her feels. So she is submerged in them, but she's in her element with it. It's not like being in your emotions and swimming in them is a bad thing. You know what? Tears are very therapeutic. You may need to cry for, you know, a few moments. You may need to cry for a few years at times in your life, and it's all okay. It's a part of the process of being human and working through things. So I guess I don't want to really leave on that note. So you know what? I'm gonna pull one more from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck. And again, pardon all the crazy focus, out of focus stuff, but I think that's just, again, maybe another little message to know that sometimes we're not going to have clarity and we need to seek it. And then we also can then let it go and wait till it comes in with that Temperance card. All right. And again, you know what? Just refer to all the piles. Watch it all, because I didn't clearly delineate each one. All right, I knew that wasn't going to work well if I tried. I tried, but I'm just going to keep things open and flowing. All right, so this one is called Butterfly Spirit Transformation. And I like this because it's a bridge over of the three piles. We had the water theme, the kind of ice theme with the Yeti, and then the earth theme with the Bigfoot. And so here we've got our ocean in here, and we also have the fairy, you know, woodland and earth realm. And so anyway, transformation, let's see what's going on here. All right, I'm not really getting too much of a message off of this one, but I guess maybe, well, what do we have, number 8? I guess the pearl behind her. I know a lot of people talk about how the pearl develops and this and that. The only thing I'm really getting with that is, though, again, the notion of what's a real pearl and what's an artificial pearl. And it goes back to, you know, what's real and what's deception, reality, and also, you know, the other realms. And in it all, there's always a tiny bit of truth. And so it's just to, you know, tap into your intuition and your innate powers to tell which is which, you know, discern the truth, the lies from the truth, right? I don't know why, but of course I'm getting a song coming through, and it's Billie Jean and whatever. I'm not getting into the whole what's going on with Michael Jackson, what did go on. But what I want to say is, you know, there's a line in there, you know, until the lie becomes the truth. So just kind of, you know, that might be a theme for somebody today, you know, distinguishing the two. All right. Well, that's it for today. I wish you all the best. As always, tremendous peace and love. Hope you got something out of this today. I know it wandered all over the place, but that was just the nature of what it wanted to do. So take care, everyone. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.